Sorry,
Shiva is not joining, huh?
he was not joining. He was in out of station.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so let's continue because we are waiting so many times.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
Okay.
see, continue
You
with
can
that
join.
video class. Okay, maybe if
Yeah.
we have doubt something, we can connect later. Okay,
Mm. Okay.
okay. So today class we are discussing about the business partners, right? So in the last class we discussed
Yeah.
about that vendor account groups controls. What are the vendor account
Mm-hmm.
group controls?
Uh,
What,
um,
what are
Number range.
number range?
Yeah.
Yes.
Field selection.
Field selection control. Yes. External internal number range.
Yeah. It's,
One time vendor account
yes.
and partner determination partners, right? And
Yeah.
sub range and plant relevant data, right? So these are the controls for the vendor account groups.
Yeah.
So as we informed that, okay,
Yeah.
vendor account group is the for only for vendor master card, but in S4 HANA we have that new functionality which is called business partner, right? So the
Okay.
first we need to create a business partner, then we need to inform that whether we are using this business partner as a customer or vendor master card. So let's continue with that setting, okay, how it works like, okay.
Yeah.
So all so voice everything is looks good, right? No problem, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, can I able to see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So let's go with that. Okay. Let's continue with the number ranges and grouping. Okay, business grouping and so I just provided in the slide. I just attached that the slide which having the information of how the business partners will work.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Can you able to see my screen? So let's see. Okay, you can see here what is a business partner, what is a BP grouping, okay, that is number and assignment, and how BP roles need to
Yeah.
be assigned, okay, and how BP to vendor integration will work, CVI, okay. So CVI means
Okay.
customer
Okay.
vendor integration. What is that? Customer vendor
Mm-hmm.
integration.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's,
So just refer
yeah.
this one. Okay, we'll discuss one point. Okay, clear?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So let's go with that. Okay, now where we are in, where is that? Okay, so now let's go to the SPRO settings. So I'm just opening that SAP slide system. Okay, we are using S4 HANA system. Okay, so as we informed that, now we already discussed about the vendor account groups for vendor. Okay, number range for vendors, right? Now we are defining that number ranges for and grouping for business partner. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so as we informed in the last call, okay, so this BP grouping and BP role, okay, which is BP grouping will be giving that exactly what number range you are planning to use, okay. So let's discuss about the BP grouping, how we can use that in the SAP, okay, okay.
Okay.
So let's go to the configuration part. So what is the configuration part? How we can go to SPRO? SPRO is the configuration part.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
let's go to
Yeah.
SPRO F5. Okay, and here it is the integration part. Okay, we can go to cross application component. Okay, so in this cross application component, okay, you can see that SAP business partner is there, right? So you can go to SAP Business Partner. Where it at? Here it is there, Business Partner. Okay. So in this SAP Business Partner, you can see that the connections here. Okay. So go to Business Partners here. In this Business Partners, the basic settings are there. In this basic settings, you can see that connections here. Okay. Business Partner roles. Okay. Number range and grouping.
Okay.
All it is there here. From here, we have to be set up and configure that. Okay. So now let's go to here. You can see that there is a BP roles. Okay. So standard, we have some standard BP roles are there. Okay. Which is starting with FLV. FLV. Okay. So this you can see FLV N00, FLV N01. Okay. One is for financial, one is for the purchasing. Okay. So when you are defining your BP, you need to inform that this BP we are using for supplier, master. Okay. If it is customer, it will start with FLC. If it is customer, it will start with FLC. You can see here FLC C00, FLC C01. Okay. So how system will understood here whether you are using this BP is for customer or vendor, it depends on the BP role. What is that? It depends on the BP role. So in the BP role, if you are assigned FLV and 00, then system will be trying to create that supplier master record with financial accounting data. Okay. So that means it's equivalent to FK01. Did you remember that FK01? What is FK01 transaction code? What is the transaction code for FK01? Yesterday we were discussing, right? FK01. Did you remember that? You need to do practice. You know, say FK01 is for company code data, right? FK01 is company code data, and MK01 is purchasing organization data.
ECC, right?
In ECC, right? So same here by BP role, I can say that when you planning to create that by using BP role FLV N00, that states that you are planning to create a vendor master record financial data. That means company code data. It's equivalent to FK01. Okay. And if you are using this one FLV N01, then it is a what transaction code? It is equivalent to what transaction code? MK01. MK01.
MK01. Yeah.
Okay. So as we informed that it depends on the when you creating the BP, you need to assign the BP role. As per that BP role, the system will understand that okay, you are using this BP for vendor master record, or if you are using FLC U00, FLC U00, then it is a customer master. So like there are multiple standard BP roles are there. From vendor master record point of view, we have only these two. So that's what I already mentioned here in this slide. You can see in the slide what standard we have. See here FLV N00, vendor master FI vendor. Okay. Clear?
Okay.
And FLV N01, vendor master purchasing view. FLC U01, 00, customer FI view. FLC U01, customer sales view. Okay, this is the employee. Okay, clear?
Okay.
So this is the way you can use the BP role. So this is the configuration here. Okay, so you can go to each individual one. Select this one and see that what BP role categories are there here. Okay, you can go to BP. Okay, FLC V00 and see that what it is assigned here. Okay, for any transaction which is assigned, you can see that. Okay, so this is a category. Now this is a, you can select this one, go to details here. In details you can see that. Okay, what it will be happen when you selecting the BP role. So it's trying to create a business partner general data and it's trying to create a supplier financial accounting data. Okay, so like it will be displaying here what role it will be using that. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Okay, so nothing to do with that here. If you want, you can create your own customization role, or you can use standard only. Okay, no need to change here anything. Okay, so this is the configuration for what? BP role. Okay,
Perfect.
now you can go to BP grouping now. Okay, we'll go to here down BP grouping. Okay, so before going to here, I'll just go to here directly with number range and BP grouping. Okay, here you can see that BP grouping and number range. Okay, so what you can do, you can create your own customization grouping number. Okay, states that it is internal external assignment, or it may be for your some other service related, or what it is, you can define that grouping. That grouping you are assigning to the over number range. Okay, what number range you want to assign. Okay, so this grouping is helping to that. Okay, when you creating the PP, what number range should be created. Okay, clear? When you
Okay.
creating the grouping number, BP grouping, this BP grouping is assigned to the number range. That number range, what number series it is assigned, based on that system will be, okay, will be taking care about that. Okay, this BP is for this number range defined. Okay, so how we define in the vendor account group, like in a BP also, you need to define the number range. Yes. Okay, so you can see here the number range intervals. You can define how we define for vendor account group. Same like here also, you can define for business partners. Okay, clear?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you can see still free intervals. Okay, if any free intervals you want to see, you can use that free intervals. Okay, so now I have one doubt. Let me tell me, I have one doubt. Okay, you can let me know if you can explain about that. Okay. Tell me. So now I'm using that. Okay, I'm using that, then one BP. Okay, let's say I'll go to screen again. SAP MM platform. Okay, okay, now I have one doubt here. So I said that BP will be connected to vendor. How it is connected? Let me add one slide here. Let me add one slide here. So now we created number range for vendor account group. We created vendor account group, right? We created vendor account group, and we are assigned number range. That is what we did, right, yesterday. Correct? Now today we are creating BP. So how BP having that? We have the control of BP role and BP grouping. So in vendor master record, if you want to get number, my requirement number, we are defining at account group level, vendor account group level, right? Vendor accounting group level. Correct? Is it correct or wrong? Is it correct or wrong? Yesterday we discussed, right? In ECC we are using that vendor accounting group, right? Hello, you are there? Sorry, Fernando. I mistakenly disconnected that. I thought you are already listening that. Okay, sorry. Are you there? Hello? Can you able to hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Sorry,
here.
sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
you disconnected.
It was disconnected mistakenly. Okay. So now my question was, okay, I have one question here. We defined vendor account group yesterday for vendor master record.
Yeah.
Now we are
Yeah.
creating today BP grouping for BP number range. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, now I have created BP number. Let's assume that I have created some number which starting with 10,000. Okay, 10,001. Let's assume that this is a BP number. Now vendor number is there. So I'm just creating this BP as
Yeah.
a vendor. So shall we go with same number or shall we go with a different number? Like, do you want to go with the
Maybe,
same number or do
maybe,
you want to go
maybe,
with?
maybe different. Yeah.
Okay, so if we are using the different number, okay, I can see that I can see on the top of the screen only BP number, correct? So I don't have reference of the vendor number. Okay, so when
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
using this purchase orders or maybe reports, I'm usually going with vendor number, correct? So if I'm using the different vendor
Mm-hmm.
number and different number range for BP and different number range for vendor, okay, so the user will be sometimes what will be happen? It will be confused to them. Okay, what is the
Yeah.
BP number and what is the vendor number? They will confuse that. So it is always
Mm-hmm.
good. The SAP is suggesting that go with the same number range what you defined for BP and vendor number.
Okay.
So that is what I have
Okay.
mentioned here. Okay, here I have mentioned here. Go with the recommendation. I just here explain that. Here I just always use same number range for BP and vendor. Okay.
Okay.
So it is good always. It is good always go with the same number range. Okay. But you can define. Still you have the option to go with that. But if you want to go ahead with different number range, you can go ahead. Okay. Or if you want to go with same number range, you can go ahead. Okay. Still you have the options. Clear? This is clear? Hello? Oh my god, it's connecting now. Hello? Okay, so you got the point. So we can use the same number range for BP and vendor number. Okay, clear?
Okay. You disconnected, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think when I'm just going with the slides now, full screen, when I just want to remove from the full screen to PPT presentation, it's disconnecting mistakenly. Okay, so it's okay.
Okay.
Now it's okay. So now you got the point, right? So we can use the same number range. Okay. So how
Mm-hmm.
system will understood? You are planning to go with the same number range or different number range. Okay. So what you need to do here, while you are defining your number range for BP, okay, when you are defining the number range for BP grouping, you make sure that
Mm-hmm.
what you define your vendor account group, same you have to assign here also. So that means you need to check that free interval is available or not. Okay. So now you can see here my free intervals are what you have free intervals here 202041. Okay, this number it is there. So let's see here whether we have the same number in the vendor account group level. So what is the vendor account group level number range? Transaction code is OMSJ. Go to OMSJ. SJ. Okay. So OMSJ. So what is our What is our vendor account group which I created yesterday? Z DMS, right?
Z9.
Z DMS, right? Correct?
One.
Did you remember
Z9.
that? Z
B,
Z DMS.
Z9.
ZDSP. Okay.
Ah,
So,
okay. ZDSB.
what we define here, Z9. So let's see what is the Z9 here.
Z9.
What is the Z9 here, number range? Z9 is here. What is the Z9 here?
Where is-
So it start with 133401. It start with 1.
Okay.
So
133.
1330. Okay. Let me put somewhere in a notepad. Let me put somewhere the number range which we define here. Okay, so what is the number range here? 133401. Okay, and what is the ending number? 134401, and this is the number, right?
21.
Okay, so this is a number. So this is a number which we are defined for ZDSV, right? Vendor account group,
Okay.
correct? So now let's go with this one. Let's go with our BP grouping. So BP grouping, so we also planning to do same. We also need to do same. So let's see where it is there. 133401. 133401, it is already assigned. So let's see. 133401, it is assigned or not. So let's see free intervals. Do we have 133401? Okay, let's go back. 133401. Okay, so there is no 133 here. All 201 is there. Okay, let's go with any existing one. 133401 where it is closed. So let's see. Somewhere they are assigned 133401. So it is assigned only till 400. Okay, here you can see there is a 133401. Okay, so that means 24. Okay. Okay. So what I can do here, select this one. I'll change the current number here. So I'll go here 133401. I'll change the number which we have, what we are assigned in the, what we are assigned here.
Yeah. 21999.
2199. Okay. So 219999. If somewhere it is assigned, then it will come overlap. What we can do, we can use this. We can use this same number for vendor account group level. Let's go to vendor account group level. Go to change. And what is our number? Z9, right? Z9. So I'm changing in the vendor account group level because it is already assigned somewhere. So I'm just going with Z9 and I'm changing here. Okay. Instead of 2100, I'm just putting this one. Okay. So now it is the same. It is the same number, right? In both cases. Is that same?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So still I didn't assign, but we have the option is Z9. What we have the same number 0000 same. I can use here also 0000133401. Okay. So that is the assigned 24. So now what I can do, I can create my own BP grouping. I can use the own BP grouping. Let's say I'm just creating my own BP grouping. So I'm just copying from the existing one. I will put same. I'll just put the same number. Okay. So what is that? Just domestic vendor, domestic DSV. Okay. I'm just putting same. Okay. And I will put that maybe domestic Okay, and internal number assignment, and what it is here 24. This is 24 only, right? Is correct? 24 only.
Yeah. It's 24.
This is 24. Okay. So 24, what is the 24 number? 24 number is the same number which is there, right? 24 is the interval which having the same number range which we need. 24 is the same interval number which we have already. Okay. So I can use the same number. Okay, clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Is it clear, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we created both, but we still not assigned. We still not assign this BP grouping to my domestic vendor account group, right? Did we assign?
Okay.
We just created grouping. We just
Yeah.
created account grouping, but we did still not assign just BP grouping to our internal vendor account group, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So what we need to do now? What you need to do
So
now?
we have to link
You need to
to
link.
assign.
You need to assign our vendor account group to this BP grouping. And we
Yeah.
have to inform to the system we are using the same number for both.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Yeah.
So before going to that, okay, we'll discuss about that current what other settings are there here. Then we'll go to that setting. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now you understand, right? We are creating BP grouping and we are assigned a number range. That number range may be external or internal number based on the checkbox you can go ahead with.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the one setting for BP grouping, and BP role you understand, right? BP role which is for finance and other things. Okay,
Okay.
so these two are the
What?
these two are the main points when you want to create a BP. Again, field selections here you can see that field grouping, okay, and BP role level field attributes that you can define what you require that you can define here. Okay, screen
Okay.
configuration, okay, all you can define from here. Okay, these are all which is relevant to the so FLV and 00 FLV and all. You can go to double click on that. You can go to see the details here. Okay, so you can see here hide required entry, optional entry, display at the BP grouping level, not vendor account group level. This is the BP grouping level. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so no questions right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so same, this is the how we are defined for a vendor account group level. Here we are BP role level we are defining. Okay, same like screen layout also. Okay, here same like in the screen layout also you can define here. You can see here screen layout also. So all BP related configuration it is there here only. So if you want to define some configuration relevant to the screen, you can use here. Okay, customize one something which is like. Okay. Now let's go to the assignment between the BP to vendor account group. That is very important. Okay.
Okay.
So you can go to SPRO, same SPRO. I'm just going back again, okay, to understand more easily. SPRO,
Plus.
okay, and F5, SPRO, F5, and here we are connecting with BP to our master data. So synchronization between the BP to vendor we are doing here. So we need to go to cross functionals. Okay, so where is the cross
Application.
application component? Cross application component.
Yeah.
Then we are doing for master data synchronization. Let's go to the master data. So where is the master data here? Let's see here master data where it is there. Master data synchronization was there. This is BP. This is the master data synchronization. Okay.
Okay.
So this master data synchronization, what you have to do here? You have to do the integration between the customer and vendor integrations here. Go to customer vendor integrations Okay, and you have to do the business partner settings. Okay, then you have to do for vendor. If you want to do vendor, if it is a customer, you can do here customer. Okay, go to here
Okay.
vendor.
Then,
Now you are creating BP role has a what you need to do BP role for direction BP to vendor, right? This is what we are
okay.
trying to do, right? So
Okay.
go to here BP role category for direction BP to send. So you can see here the BP role category is here. Then the assignment here you can go to here. So number range assignment here. Number
Yeah.
range
Second.
assignment for direction BP to vendor.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that you are doing practice, Fernando. Okay, don't skip that practice and all. Now here we are assigning our BP grouping to vendor account group. Okay, so what is our BP grouping? Z,
Uh,
D,
uh,
S,
CDSP.
V.
CDSV. Same.
Right. So we created both same, right? So sorry, domestic
Yeah.
DSV. Okay. So this DSV, what we are trying to assign? Same vendor account group because we created unique one to easily understand. But if you created different also, it's okay, no problem. Okay.
Okay.
That is taking a long time. You wait some time. So here you can see that then same number. If you are going
Yeah.
BP grouping and vendor account group number range both is the same number range, then you have to select here same number. Okay.
Okay.
And there is one condition is there. I will tell you once selected this one. Okay, this is why it is taking long time. Domestic. I'm just trying to put here. Okay, and again this is also same.
The same. Yeah.
Sorry, Z D S V. I have created same, right? So I'm just creating same get Z D S V. Same, right? We have created same. So I'm just selecting
Mm-hmm.
both. So it is taking long time to refer. Okay. Okay. Why it is taking long time? No? Or else you can go to directly click on F4. Okay. And same number. Okay. Now enter. Let me try. Now enter. Okay. So this GSV which is coming. Now same number I am using. Enter. Now see what will get the message here. Okay. Now I'm just saving here. So what I did when I'm trying to create the BP using the BP grouping ZDSV domestic one,
Mm-hmm.
which referring that okay, which referring to that I'm planning to create a vendor master record with vendor account group is ZDSV. That is the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you want to
Okay.
different number range, if you want to define a different account group, then you can assign different account group also. Okay.
Still
So
okay.
it
Yeah.
is the relationship between the BP and vendor. The same like BP and customer also same like they can create a account group for customer number and the customer master record and BP they can assign that. And if you want to use the different number range, then you don't need to select that same checkbox. You can define your own number ranges
Yeah.
for both. So problem is when you creating the BP, the customer number which is creating different number and BP number which is creating different number. So if you want to the customer the users if they want to track, it's very difficult because if they have a different BP number, if they have a different customer number, when they want to check the master data, uh, whether they want to go with vendor number or BP number, they will confuse. And
Yeah. Yeah.
moreover, it is very difficult to understand what is the connections from the report level. Okay, so it is very easy if you are using the same number. Okay,
Yep. Yeah. That's better.
yeah. So this is the connection between the BP and vendor. So in the ECC, if you are using the ECC system, if you are using the ECC system, you don't need to create any BP roles grouping. But if you are using S4HANA system, you make sure that that configuration should be done. That is called customer vendor integration synchronization, CVI integration. Okay, clear?
Okay. CBI.
CVI integration. Okay. So same number flag is which is for which is using for. Okay, and now I'm just selecting here same number and save. Let's see what will get the problem here. See, number range for account group has not
Number
been
range
defined externally. So when
is
you
not
are
defined
this is what I just
externally.
this is what I just want to explain because I didn't explain that because I want to show up here the message. So when you are defining that same number range for vendor BP grouping and the vendor account group, okay, so make sure that one should be external number range. Okay, that means you should
Ah,
define your vendor account group number range should be external, one is internal, one is external. Okay, so go again.
either of them,
Yeah,
either
yeah, no,
the vendor or the
yeah, when
BP.
you are using same number range, then you have to do because system giving the externally, right? System is picking that number and providing to you, so always you have to give external number range. Okay, clear?
Mm, okay.
Because system is
Yes.
giving
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
same number, or else system can give different number also. But now what it is happening, system is trying to give the same number range which is defined in BP role. So I have, make sure that I have to put the external number range. This is what I just want to explain.
External.
Okay,
Okay. That's for the BP, right?
yeah, that's put in vendor
The,
account group level because vendor account group is system is taking the
ah,
number once you created.
the vendor. Ah, okay. The vendor.
Okay, so now what will happen? Now what happened? Now again I can save, enter. Now try again to save this one. I thought that before only we'll get the message, but after saving it is getting when I just it is automatic. Okay,
The one you change for external is the
vendor
vendor
account group,
account
vendor
group
account group,
only, right?
vendor account group.
How about the range for BP role? It's still
Now,
internal,
now
right?
BP, yeah, BP grouping is the only internal only. BP grouping is the
Okay,
internal
so
now. Yeah.
one should be internal and one should be
External,
external.
yeah,
Is that it?
because no, why we are using external number range for a vendor account group? Because the system is trying to give the same number which you created BP number has a vendor account group vendor number. So that means system externally taking the number and giving that. If you don't need that,
Okay.
then you can go with the internal, right? But here your
Yeah.
requirement is the same number which is created BP
The same
should
number.
be has the vendor account number, right? So the system
Okay.
needs to pick that number and put that, right? Correct. So that
Okay.
means externally system is giving to vendor account number. Okay, clear?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for this one, or I'll stop this one. I'll go back and again assign. It's taking a long time, right? Open new. open new connection, new section. Where is the new section? Okay, let me wait some time. Okay, I'll go back here. And I'll go here only. It's already open one more screen, right? I'll just go here. So I'll just go back here. Okay, I'll just go here. So this is externally assigned. Now I'm just going back to SPRO again. Tell me the part SPRO F5. Okay,
F5.
cross application and components. Okay, now master data synchronization. Okay, and BP business partner and CV integration, customer vendor integration. Then go to business partner settings. Okay, and indirect setting for vendor integration. Okay, then go to assign keys. Okay, then go to BP assign number and to BP vendor. Now what is that? ZDSV.
ZDSP.
So I'm just selecting same number in here. Okay, now let's see if we are getting problem or not. So system not giving any warning message here. It is accepting now same number. Okay, clear? Is it clear?
Okay, save all right. Yeah.
Okay, now let's
Okay.
create BP. Let's create BP now.
Okay.
Simple. It's very only two steps. Vendor, BP grouping and BP role, and assigning the BP grouping to account group. It's same number range or different number range. That's all. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to BP here. Creation BP. Now we have created our own customized BP grouping, right? We have created BP grouping, right? So I'm just creating BP as organization. Now, what is the BP role? If you want to create only general data of BP, you can use 000000, which creates only BP. It is not assigned to any vendor. It is not assigned to any customer. Okay, but if you want to create as a vendor, what is the BP role? FLV N00.
FLV.
FLV N00. Okay. Okay, so FLV N00 or FLV N01. So I'm selecting here FLV N01. Okay, now what is the grouping? Okay, so I'm just going with this one. What is the BP grouping?
ZDSV.
G, D, S,
ZDSV.
G, D, S, V. Okay. So now this is internal number range. System will give the number range. Okay, I'm just giving that BP. Okay, domestic some name you can put some domestic okay, domestic paper supplier or something which I can put. Okay, or something which I can put. Okay, I'm going to put that short term to understand paper supplier. Okay, and you can put the country where you can put the country D or US, whatever it is there, you can put that. Okay, and you can put a language. Okay, you can put that language, English. Okay, if anything which is mandatory, you can see. You can put whatever it is mandatory field. You can put that. Enter. Enter. Okay. So now see, since we are selected FLV N01, it is displaying here purchasing tab, purchasing button. Okay. If we selected something different, then this purchasing tab will not come. Okay. Now what I am trying to do, I am just going to purchasing. Click on purchasing. Before going to that, I already assigned my grouping to that. I already assigned this grouping to the my vendor account group. What is that? My vendor account group. What is my vendor account group?
GDSB.
GDSP, that's all. Where I can see that
GDSB.
connection, where I can see that connection. You can go to vendor general data. So till here, the address for you, identification, control, payment terms, all this is all relevant to the BP. But when I'm just going to the vendor general data, this is the vendor group, vendor relevant information. So I'm just going here, general information. In this general data information, you have the connections, the number which is trying to create. Okay, now you can see this is the vendor account group. Vendor account group. Did you got same?
Okay.
Did you got same, right?
Yeah.
And it is giving the message that external here. You can see the external number, and that means when it's trying to create the BP number, the system will take that has external number and assigning here after creating. Okay, clear? So no
Okay.
need to do anything here.
Yeah.
We just explain here to see how it works and all. Okay. So any other central relation block, central flag, payment blocks, all we can do from here only. Now we can go to purchasing data. I'm just trying to go with purchasing data. See that my purchasing views information can be. So when you just trying to create BP as a vendor, you must be have some purchasing organization, because this vendor is handling by the particular purchasing group, purchasing organization team, right? So is that domestic purchasing organization is something which is like central purchasing organization, that and all you have to assign. So I'm just assigning something 1910. Okay, I'm just extending this
Okay.
BP. Enter. Now you can assign order currency, payment terms, Incoterms, all you can do. Okay, so I'm just assigning that order currency euro. Okay, and Incoterms, payment terms, if you have anything, payment terms. What is the payment terms? The payment to the vendor. Okay, so is that you need to pay immediately when you got the stock? Do you have some time, 3 installments, or do you have some 14 days time, 20 days time with some discounts, like cash
Yeah.
discounts and all
Those
it
are
is?
those are the standards already, right?
Those are the standard. If you want, you can create your own payment terms also. Okay.
You can create another.
Yeah, another
Okay.
payment terms also you
Yes.
can create. Okay. So and Incoterms also you can define your own, or standard also you have. Okay. What is the Incoterms? What is the meaning of Incoterms? Incoterms nothing but like the charges for a freight. Okay, of insurance and freight cost. Is that supplier is leveraging that, or you are paying that freight and insurance details, cost and all. Okay, that is relevant to the Incoterms. Okay, so all this information you
Okay.
can enter here. All this information you can enter. Okay, so then what you can do, if you have any partners, you can assign that partners, which we discussed yesterday, right? One of the control is partners, right? Supplier, delivering part, invoicing party, freight vendor and all, you can assign. If you have the vendor sub-branch, you can assign vendor sub-branch also here. Okay, all these things
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
assign and you can save it. Okay, I'm just saving here. Let's see whether the system is creating or giving some message. Okay, so here it is giving the message because you are assigned the partner roles. That partner roles you have to assign manually. So I'm just giving some partner roles. Okay, or else you can remove that partner roles from the vendor account group level. Okay, yesterday we are assigned at partner levels, right? So what is the transaction code? OMSG. OMSG. OMSG is the vendor account group. Okay. So what is our vendor account group? Get DSV. Okay, so get DSV
Yeah.
and select go to details inside, and you can see this partner schema something which is assigned, right? If you don't, if you're not aware about the partner determination and all, you can remove now. When we're discussing about the partners, we can discuss that. Okay.
Yeah.
Or else you can assign something, some other number you can define who is the partner and all. Okay. Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll go back again. I'll just come again. I'll go here, already screen is there. No? Okay, I'll just go again back and enter. And person or organization which I'm creating, and I'm assigning the BP grouping. BP role is FLV N001.
N001.
Okay, and grouping is, what is the grouping? My own grouping which is created, ZTSV. Okay,
DBSB.
and I'm just assigning that my details. Okay, and when there is a similar address, the system will give message. You already created with the same message, same address. Okay, so duplication it won't be allowed. So when you creating the some Monday master record, you make sure that other details should be different. Okay, clear?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so now again I'm just going to purchasing data. Okay, and enter purchasing organization. Okay, and order currency and what you need. Okay, then I'm just saving here. So let's wait for some time to create the BP.
Yeah, it's taking long.
It's taking long time. First time you are performing, right? The transaction, it is like taking time.
Maybe the connection to SAP is connected.
No, it's not connected. It's taking time. Okay, let me wait some time. Okay, now the number which is created 133,411. Okay,
Okay.
so now can you go to that 133,411. Now this is the BP number, right? This is the BP number 133,411. 411. Let's see this BP number and vendor number is same or different number. So now what we tried, we created a BP, we tried BP to vendor. So BP has a vendor. Okay, if you are planning to create BP as a customer, you have to assign the customer relevant under account group, customer relevant group to BP grouping. Okay, now go to general data again. This is my BP business partner number. And what is my vendor number? What is my vendor number? BP number is the
ZDSP.
133411. What is the vendor number?
B, ZDSP. The same number, right?
Yes, same number, no? Vendor
Same
number also
number.
same number because we are assigned same number, no? So go to where we can see here vendor general data. Go to vendor general data. See that what vendor number it is created. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Same number.
it's created same number, no? So
Yeah.
now I can easily find out that I have vendor number. If I what is the BP number? Say same BP number. If I have the BP
Same
number,
already.
what is the vendor number? It is same number. BP number has a vendor number. If it is different
Yeah.
number,
It's
then every time I have to go and see the master data and see the what number it is created. This is very difficult, no?
it's
So
confusing. Yeah.
yeah, so this is what advised that the system, the SAP is advising that go with the same number, don't go with the other number. Okay,
Okay.
so this is what
Yeah.
which is the recommendation. Okay, clear?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so now so now what we did, we just created a vendor master record. So now we created a vendor, okay, in S4 HANA system by creating the BP. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that is the same which I explained here in the chart. You can see here. You can go. I'm just going here. Let's review again. Just refer that. Now, what is the BP? BP is the central master data for in S4 HANA system, not for ECC. Okay, it's replaces the traditional vendor and customer master data. That means in ECC version we have separate transaction code, separate customer master and vendor master. But in S4 HANA only we have the BP master. Okay,
B.
clear? Now it contains general data, name, address, communication, company code, data, purchasing data, sales data, all it is depends on the customer master card or vendor master card. One BP can be have the multiple roles, vendor, customer. So that's what, right? Same vendor can be created as a customer or vendor also. Okay. So the same number you can extend to there also. So this is the configuration which we are creating for the grouping, number range, okay, and BP roles. These are the standard BP roles, and BP to vendor integration, CVA integration, okay, and that tables here. I just explained about the tables here, which is this LFA1, LFB1, LFM1 is the traditional tables which is there already in ECC and S4 HANA, and these are the BP related, okay.
Okay.
And if you want to see the BP to vendor integration link table, you can go to this vendor underscore link table. Okay.
Okay.
And the configuration for BP to vendor here it is there setup. Okay. If you want to use the same number range or different number range, you can assign that map. Okay. And you can see define account groups for the vendor master card. So this is the entire process for BP creation, grouping and
Okay.
roles and everything. So this is the way we have to create a vendor master card. Clear?
Okay. It's good.
Okay, so here is a one single transaction code. Okay, so you can use same transaction code to create and change or anything. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
If you want to change, you can go to here
Okay.
only. You can go to change. You can use the transaction code here only. The change. There is no separate transaction codes here. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, you can see here the pencil button is there, change and display BP. Okay, clear?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So any questions to create a BP?
Yeah. It's covered. Yeah.
Yeah, please do the practice. Okay,
By,
BP and
by the way,
yeah,
in Yeah, in creating the vendor account, sometimes
Uh-huh.
you could go from SPRO under
Logistical general.
finance also, right?
You can go to
And under
financial accounts.
finance,
You can go to financial accounting, or you can go to logistical general.
and
Logistical general also
so
created.
it's the same.
Hmm.
It's the same, right?
Same.
As
It is
long
same.
as
There is no difference.
yeah,
It is same. Okay.
yeah,
That's what right I explained yesterday. Financial FI also they will be creating a BP, vendor master card, and we also creating a vendor master
yeah.
card. So both having the configuration. Okay.
So the outcome is the same, right?
Same. Outcome is the same. Company code
Okay.
data
Yeah.
information they are creating, and purchasing organization data we are creating. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's good.
Okay. Any questions here in the BP creation?
No, I think it's good, but I guess you should send this one so I can go through it one more time
I'll just refer, provide
to
this
the
video.
recording.
Yeah, I'll just provide you this video, and anyway,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
PPT presentation also you have. You can go with that.
yeah.
Okay.